In a previous video, 25 voiceover tips explained with examples, I covered 25 tips I learned while doing voiceovers for a company project. It included the space you record in, the mic and the recorder, how to handle the script, adding life to the voiceover, splitting sentences, pacing, and so on. You'll want to watch that video, which will help you with doing voiceovers and will help with recording your voice in general. Here are 13 more tips I've learned, and I thought I would share them with you. Many watching this don't have a studio setup that is super quiet, and things can get quite reverbery when the sound bounces off the walls. Anything that will reflect sound will bounce what you are saying, that includes ceilings, floors, and walls, back into the mic after you say it, which is what creates that boomy sound or reverb effect. I'm lucky enough to have a number of elements in this room that help, such as carpet on the floor. The easiest is just getting some cheap moving blankets and lying them on the floor or table surfaces in front of you. I got these because they are thicker, work, and I can get 4 of them for about $30 on Amazon. Many forget when using these shotgun mics, they are designed to reject sound from the sides, but you get some bleed from behind, so hanging a blanket behind you can really help cut out the reverb. It may seem funny to surround yourself in blankets, but when you hand over the audio to someone else or edit them yourself, you'll be glad you did. By the way, these circular sound deadening devices don't work all that well. They really collapse your own personal space in on you. Not a good thing while doing voiceovers, and I've even tried 2 at a time in front and back, and I'll go with the cheap sound blankets any day. In the voiceover tips video, I mentioned getting the mic close to your mouth. If you ever see a professional doing voiceovers, they keep their mouth quite close to the microphone. No matter what mic you use, you will always get better sound by placing it close to the mouth. Let me show you. Normally, when I shoot these episodes, I keep the mic up here out of frame. When doing voiceovers, you wouldn't want to do that. Here's the mic in front of me about 1 foot away. Here's the mic at about 6 inches away. Here's the mic at about 3 inches away. It's a dramatic difference. It's usually 6 inches away, but you can step into a mic for a more intimate sounding voiceover. Of course, you set up your mic, you want to make sure you set the audio recording levels properly. The usual rule is see the levels on the audio device jumping between -12 and -6 dB. Testing levels with mic above me. Testing levels with mic above me. Testing levels with microphone 1 foot away. Testing levels with microphone 1 foot away. Testing levels of microphone 6 inches away. Testing levels with the microphone 6 inches away. Testing levels with the microphone 3 inches away. Testing levels of the microphone 3 inches away. This audio will look something like this when you get it into your audio editor. The sound will be all over the place, and that's because our voices are quite dynamic. What you don't want is your audio levels too low, as you'll have to jack up the volume, and you'll also jack up any noises in the recording. You don't want it too high either, as it will produce clipping, meaning you're overdriving the audio, and it sounds terrible. If you reduce the audio volume in your editor, it will sound terrible as it is clipped. Now, you don't want to eat the microphone, because if you get too close, you get too many mouth noises in your recording. This thing is called a pop filter. It's used to help suppress explosives, which is wind exploding across the mic like this, especially with P's. Please, tray, portable. Please, tray, portable. These filters are really cheap, something like $5 to $10 and worth it. Set up properly, they allow you to get close to the mic and keep you from getting too close. Once you have everything set up, you're good to go. If you're doing some type of narration, there may be passages where you have to be more energetic or loud, and that's handled by just backing away from the mic a bit. He was angry, like really angry. You lost the audio files? What the hell is wrong with you? Another thing I didn't cover is warming up your voice, just like a singer or musician. Spend a few minutes reading through the script or book and get your instrument, your voice, warmed up and ready to go. If you're a musician who reads music, you've learned to sight-read, meaning you can read the music a bit ahead of what you're playing. Same with narration, which is a thing you practice, so you train your eyes and your voice to be in sync. Next is a tip I haven't found mentioned anywhere, but an absolute voiceover killer. Know what you are reading. I know that sounds pretty basic, but I mean really know what you are reading. When you are going along and keep stumbling your lines and your words, I guarantee you don't totally understand either the concept that is written and being communicated or the words themselves. It is common practice to read through a script a couple of times out loud. When you get confused or stumble, you look prior to that and find out what words you didn't understand and look them up in a good dictionary or work out what the script says so you understand that. When you are in Outlook, you can use Outlook Peek to see multiple and very detailing viewing options of the applications with customization options that... yuck. If you're writing the script, then by golly, if it's confusing, that's a big sign to rewrite that section to make it understandable to the listener. Another thing I alluded to in the tips video but didn't quite say it like this is to mean what you say. In other words, speak with confidence and believe what you're talking about. I believe if you treat others with kindness, you'll always win at the game of life. I believe if you treat others with kindness, you'll always win at the game of life. If you are editing your own voiceover, don't get crazy with it. If you did all the things I mentioned in this and the other video, editing the voice should be a breeze. I usually open my audio in Adobe Audition, add a broadcast compressor to my voice, which gives it some depth. Then I use the match loudness feature to get everything at a common -19 LUFS. Yours may be different for what you are doing, and your voice may need another treatment than mine, but for me, this is a simple, reproducible, and quick way to do it. I've had a lot of questions about gear, and as far as microphones, many watching this channel will have a shotgun type mic like I do, and there's nothing wrong with using them. But you should know that the preferred mics for voiceovers are dynamic broadcast mics and large diaphragm condenser mics, and they are all over the place in quality and range. The Blue Yeti USB, $89, Audio-Technica AT 2020, $129, Rode NT1, $228, Shure SM7B, $399, Electro Voice RE20, $499, all the way up to this Neumann U87 at almost $3,200. It will all depend on the cash you have and whether you are doing this professionally or not. The audio recorders will vary too, as you can use some of these mics directly into your computer, but I found these very fiddly, and now you have the computer's fans embedded into your voiceover. Again, you can pay ridiculous amounts for audio recorders. At the low end, I suggest a Zoom H1n at $139, although plastic and easily breakable. The Zoom H4n Pro at just over $200, it's great, but the startup time and the card formatting is too long for me, or my favorite, the Zoom H6 at about $300. You can also check out the equivalent Tascam models, and like our microphones, you can go crazy with something like this Nagra VI 8-channel digital recorder coming in at $8,500. Next is headphones. Use headphones when doing voiceovers, mainly to hear if there are sounds happening you don't normally hear. The AC may be white noise to your ears, but is unmistakable with headphones. Also, I can't count the number of times I've gotten ready to start a voiceover, put on the headphones, only to realize the recorder is not in recording mode or some cable is fragging out. Testing. Testing, 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 testing. Without headphones, I wouldn't have known that. Like everything else, you can go crazy on headphones too, but I recommend these Sony MDR-V6 studio monitor headphones as they have great dynamic range, and more importantly, they don't add anything, such as mid or bass to your voice. They're nice and neutral. Again, there are better headphones, but at $71, they can't be beat. Lastly, it's just doing it, not being afraid or whatever. A lot of people listen to their voice for the first time and wonder why they sound so funny. That goes away after a while, and in no time at all, you'll get used to your own voice. The voiceovers you do today will not be as good as the next 20 you'll do, and that's okay, as that means you're getting better. Here's a quick recap. 1. Watch the previous 25 voice tips video. 2. Isolate your room with sound blankets. 3. Get the mic close to your mouth. 4. Set the audio recorder levels properly. 5. Use a pop filter. 6. Read the script to warm up your voice. 7. Practice sight reading your scripts. 8. Know what you are talking about and speak with confidence. 9. Edit your voice to your liking. 10. Use a good mic. 11. Use a good audio recorder. 12. Use good headphones. 13. Do it and get better. I've included links in the description below to things I've talked about, including the previous 25 tips video. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. In Outlook, click on your mailbox name and you get what is called Outlook Peek. This shows a snapshot of your calendar, tasks, and unread messages. Much better.